Ahoy there, future ship shapers, ready to dive into the world of marine engineering drafting. We're talking interview tips today, those make-or-break moments that can land you that dream job.
Exactly. Think of this deep dive as your personal shipyard. We're equipping you with the tools and tactics to impress even the toughest hiring managers.
Love it. So picture this. You're taking incredible ship designs, those ones marine engineers dream up, and turning them into detailed blueprints. That's the heart of a marine engineering drafter, right? And it's a career with some serious depth.
It is. And we've got RoleCatcher's career resources. As our compass today, their sample interview questions are practically a treasure map.
Okay, map and compass in hand. What's the first buoy we need to navigate on this interview journey?
Can you describe your experience with AutoCAD and other drafting software? The big one, the kind that sets the tone.
Ooh, I can feel the pressure already. This is where those technical skills really come into play.
Absolutely. But it's not just listing software names, it's about showing your comfort level. How well do you know these tools, especially for marine design?
Let's say you're a whiz with AutoCAD, but you've only dabbled in SolidWorks. Do you downplay that?
It's tempting, but honesty is key. Instead, frame it around your eagerness to learn their preferred software. You could say, I've mostly worked with AutoCAD, creating detailed 2D drawings, even some 3D hull designs. My SolidWorks experience is more limited, but I'm a fast learner and excited to dive into its marine engineering capabilities.
I love that. It shows your skills and your drive to grow. It's not just what you know, it's how you approach learning new things.
Exactly. That growth mindset is crucial, especially in marine engineering where software is always evolving.
Okay, first buoy cleared. What's next on our interview course?
Time to show off your organizational skills. Get ready for how do you approach a new project?
Here comes that organized and detail-oriented stereotype about drafters, right?
It comes up, but with a twist. Interviewers want structured and adaptable, someone who can handle curveballs on these complex shipbuilding projects.
How do you strike that balance in your answer? What impresses them?
Think like they do. They need someone who goes from concept to completion without getting lost. Talking about timelines, breaking down tasks, and prioritizing clear communication that shows you're on top of it.
It's like you're not just drawing lines, you're orchestrating details to create this incredible final product.
Exactly. Even mentioning project management methods you've used, even from other fields, shows a deeper understanding of bringing order to complexity.
So transferable skills, proving you can tackle anything with confidence and organization. Makes sense. Okay, ready for the next navigational challenge?
Absolutely. Time for the dreaded, tell me about a time you failed question. Well, sort of. It's phrased as, can you give an example of a difficult drafting problem you faced and how you solved it?
Ugh, I can feel the tension already. Who wants to talk about failures in an interview?
Feels counterintuitive, I know. But this isn't highlighting shortcomings, it's showcasing your thought process, problem solving, how you learn from setbacks.
So it's less about the problem, more about how you tackled it.
Exactly. Choose an example relevant to the field. Maybe a boat design issue, something showcasing you understand the unique challenges. Did you hit a snag with stability calculations or material limitations? Talk about identifying the root cause, exploring solutions, maybe consulting senior engineers, and how you found a workaround.
Turning a potential weakness into a strength. Showing you're not afraid of challenges, you're always learning and improving.
Exactly. And any employer values that.
Okay. Feeling more confident navigating these choppy interview waters. What other essential questions should we prep for?
Next up, it's all about precision. How do you ensure the accuracy of your drafting work?
This one's tied to that attention to detail we keep mentioning. A single blueprint error could have huge consequences later on, right?
Absolutely. You're the guardian of precision, making sure every line, dimension, every annotation is spot on.
How do you convey that dedication to accuracy in a way that resonates?
Be specific. Don't just say, I'm careful. Mention techniques. Double-checking measurements. Knowing your software's error-checking features inside and out. Even talking about how you review your own work with fresh eyes.
Proving you've got a system, and it's a good one. It's about showing that meticulous nature, isn't it?
Exactly. You take pride in precise work because you understand precision in drafting means safety and efficiency in shipbuilding.
Makes perfect sense. Now, I know RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer for tailoring your answers to each job. How can listeners use that to their advantage?
RoleCatcher is like a secret weapon. Let's say your dream job's at a company specializing in, say, high-performance yachts. You feed that job description into RoleCatcher, and its AI analyzes the language, skills, even the tone the employer uses.
Like a personal detective, cracking the code of the job ad, figuring out what they want.
You got it. And here's the magic. It gives you feedback on your CV and cover letter, suggesting tweaks to match that specific job.
So it's not just a good CV, it's a CV speaking directly to that employer.
Absolutely. And it doesn't stop there. The AI can help craft answers to interview questions, tailoring them to that specific job.
Okay, I'm intrigued. We'll dive into RoleCatcher's AI more later, but for now, let's navigate a few more of those interview questions, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's tackle those head on. Ready for what they might throw at you next. What experience do you have with marine engineering regulations and standards? Gotta know those rules.
The gotcha question. It's not enough to draw a pretty boat, it's got to be seaworthy.
Exactly. Think safety regulations from the International Maritime Organization, IMO, or those classification society rules, from places like the American Bureau of Shipping, ABS. These make sure vessels meet those really important safety and environmental standards.
How do you answer this authentically, especially early in your career? You can't have every regulation memorized, right?
Right. Focus on showing you're aware and you're eager to learn. Mention any specific regulations you've studied. Like, I'm familiar with the IMO's MARPOL convention. That's the one about preventing pollution from ships. And in my design classes, we always had to make sure our designs met ABS stability standards.
Nice. Connecting your existing knowledge to what's needed in the field.
Exactly. Even if you're not an expert yet, saying you're committed to staying updated, that shows you're proactive.
It's about that continuous learning, so crucial in such a fast-changing field. Okay, what's next? This one sounds tricky. Can you give an example of a time you had to communicate technical information to a non-technical audience?
This is all about bridging that gap. Can you explain something complex, but clearly, to someone who doesn't speak technical drawing?
What kind of example would really hit home in marine engineering?
Imagine this. You're explaining a propulsion system. Pretty complex stuff, right? But to a client who mostly cares about how their yacht looks. So instead of overwhelming them with shaft horsepower and propeller pitch, you could say, we've got this state-of-the-art system designed for your yacht's weight and hull. Think of it like giving your vessel the heart of a powerful but graceful sea creature.
I love that. Makes the technical stuff relatable, even a little exciting.
Right. It's finding that common ground so everyone understands the value of what you do.
Makes sense. Before we move on, how does RoleCatcher's AI help with these communication-heavy questions?
Good question. The AI can actually pick up on subtle cues in the job description. So if teamwork or client interaction is really important to them.
RoleCatcher would know that and suggest ways to emphasize those skills.
You got it. It's like a personal branding expert, helping you highlight what matters most for that specific role.
That's really something. Okay, back to our interview prep. What else should we be ready for?
This one's about staying ahead of the curve. How do you stay up to date with industry advancements and new technology?
Time to break out those online forums and industry magazines.
You know it. Think about conferences you've attended, like the Society of Naval Architects and Marine Engineers. They have a big one every year. Or publications like Marine Technology Reporter or The Naval Architect. Don't forget online forums, connecting with other professionals, seeing what's new in drafting software.
Showing you're actively looking for knowledge, not waiting for it to come to you.
Exactly. Even mentioning continuing education, especially for new software or sustainable practices, shows you're serious about professional development.
There's that growth mindset again. Okay, on to the next challenge.
Can you describe your experience with shipbuilding processes and procedures? This one's about real-world understanding.
Knowing the theory's one thing, but how do those drawings become an actual ship? That's next level.
Exactly. This is where you talk about hands-on stuff, internships, part-time shipyard jobs, anything like that. What processes have you seen? Plate cutting, welding techniques, even just how different ship sections are put together.
So even someone still in school could talk about classes or projects where they research this.
For sure. Going beyond the textbook shows genuine interest. Okay, ready for a classic.
Hit me.
Can you give an example of a time you had to work with a difficult team member or client? Never fails to come up.
Makes sense. Shipbuilding's a huge team effort. Disagreements are bound to happen.
Right. But remember, this isn't about bad-mouthing anyone. It's about showing you can resolve conflict professionally, even under pressure.
Okay, so how do you win with this one?
Pick a specific example where things were tough with a colleague. Maybe you disagreed on a design or deadlines were messed up. Briefly explain what happened, but focus on your actions. You could say, we had different ideas for this one design element, so I made sure to understand my colleague's point of view. We brainstormed together and found a compromise that worked technically. A&D kept us on schedule.
Nice. You address the conflict, you're a team player, and you found a solution that worked for everyone.
Exactly. And don't forget to mention what you learned. That shows self-awareness and growth. Ready for one more in this set?
Bring it on. What do we got?
Can you describe your experience with project budgeting and cost estimation? Might seem out of left field for drafting, but it's getting more common.
Because the drawings impact the cost of actually building the ship, right?
Yeah.
Materials, labor, all that.
Exactly. Even without directly managing budgets, think about times you had to be cost effective. Did you simplify a design to use cheaper materials?
Or maybe you research different suppliers to find the best price on a component.
Perfect examples. You could say, on a recent project, I realized using a standard pipe bend instead of a custom one would save time and money without changing how it functioned. I try to balance design with the budget.
So it's about showing you're not just creative, but you understand real-world constraints, thinking ahead like an engineer would.
Exactly. Shows maturity and business sense. Employers love that. Whew, we've charted a course through some tough questions. But getting the job, that's just the first step, right? What's next on this voyage?
Totally. Can't just drop anchor there. We've talked acing the interview, but what about the whole career path of a marine engineering drafter? How do you go from newbie to, like, the captain of your own shipbuilding destiny?
I like that. Think of it like sailing. Those first years, you're in familiar waters, right? Mastering the basics, the software, getting used to how shipyards really work.
Building that foundation, showing you're a reliable part of the crew.
Exactly. And those soft skills we talked about, those are your wind in the sails. Being a good communicator, team player, someone who adapts, crucial for navigating those early years.
So it's not just technical stuff. It's working with people, solving problems, being ready for anything.
You got it. Now, as you get more experience, you might find yourself drawn to a certain area.
Like specializing in those fancy yacht interiors we mentioned,
Ooh.
or diving into eco-friendly cargo ship design.
Exactly. Submarines, those intricate systems, or those big offshore platforms, all about stability. RoleCatcher's Guide talks about specializations, right? Helps you find what fits your passion and what you're good at.
Choosing your vessel, sailboat, cargo ship, submarine, each one needs different skills.
For sure. And as you specialize, you'll get more responsibility. Leading a team, mentoring, even consulting on those really tricky designs.
Wow, from translating designs to shaping entire projects.
Yeah.
That's quite the journey. How do you let the world know you're an expert?
That's where certifications come in, like earning your stripes, showing you've mastered something specific, walking into a meeting with a certified marine drafter on your card. Talk about confidence. Shows you're serious.
Like a treasure chest full of medals, each one a hard-won achievement.
Love it. They prove your dedication, your expertise, your growth. But even then, this field's always changing, right?
Right. What else keeps you going in the long run?
Never stop learning. That's key. New tech, new design trends, sustainability.
Can't get complacent. Got to ride those waves of innovation, keep learning new things.
Exactly. Go to those conferences, read those publications, talk to other professionals. That's how you stay ahead of the game.
So always be learning. Not just a master shipbuilder, but a master learner, right? This industry's got so much to explore.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one presenting at those conferences someday, teaching the next generation.
From eager student to the wise mentor, passing on that knowledge to shape the future of shipbuilding.
Now that's something. It's a tough field, no doubt, but so rewarding.
It really is amazing when you think about it. Your work, those drawings, they become real ships, sailing the world, connecting people.
The magic of marine engineering, taking an idea and making it real.
And with RoleCatcher, going from where you are now to a successful career, it's a bit easier. Their resources, plus your dedication, recipe for an amazing journey.
They're the lighthouse, guiding you to a fulfilling career in this incredible field.
Well said. Today we dove deep into interviews, into the career itself. But before we go, any final wisdom for those ready to start their own marine engineering adventures?
Don't be afraid of the challenges. Keep learning. And most importantly, remember what an impact your work has. You're not just designing boats. You're shaping how we explore, how we trade, how we innovate on the water.
Beautifully put. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into marine engineering drafting. Keep your compasses set towards your dreams, everyone. There's a whole ocean of possibilities out there. Until next time.